Enslavement. Yes, I know he asked a question, empowerment or plantation-like behavior. And I think this great mindset, I did see that beforehand, but don't give it, that's the best shot. Hey, good morning, family. I'm up on Spreaker first. I ran into a few technical difficulties this morning. I think I've ironed them out, and we're going to get started in less than 1 minute. So I want to say good morning to the Choppers first. Viva la Choppers. Thank you for being here. On today's show, empowerment or enslavement. Have you got a chance to see the new video, the collaboration between Cardi B and Thee Stallion? These are supposed to be two of the most powerful and influential female rappers in the game. Then, well, I'll share my thoughts in just a second. Please take a minute to share and like today's show. Your shares mean everything, and we'll get started. It's the Nathan Ivey Show.
You're listening to the Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
Hey, good morning, family. Welcome back. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. I'm live. I'm local. And I'm vocal. I'm also a little bit late, about 30 minutes late, but I ran into some technical difficulties this morning, and I'll make sure we go 30 minutes longer. So we're going until 10:30 a.m. this morning. Thank you for your flexibility. I hope I didn't mess up your morning. I know a lot of people are planning for us to go live as you're getting your day started, but I'm here with you now, and hopefully you can see and hear me with no interruptions and no issues whatsoever. Multiple ways to interact with the show this morning. You can interact with us on Facebook. We're doing a Facebook live stream directly to my Facebook page, Nathan Ivey EY. Also, we're up on YouTube, and in particular, I'm asking for your help to hit a milestone. I need to hit at least 1,000 subs, that's subscribers, on YouTube. That's right. I just decided, I want to expand the show onto different platforms. And right now I'm focused on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, you can listen and watch the show on YouTube. You can listen to the show later. And plus, I'll be doing some other shows as well. All of the Sin Digital Media shows will be on YouTube as well. You can check it out on that page. And I'm going to start some other pages, some other channels, should I say. I love saying that, channels. I got to change my nomenclature a bit. But again, do me a favor and help me reach that first milestone, 1,000 subs. Then I can monetize my channel, which is very, very important. That helps me keep the show independent. And also, we're on the Spreaker Network, which is an audio network. A free app is available to you. And the TuneIn network as well. On today's show, empowerment or enslavement, I want to talk about this new collaboration between Cardi B and Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as I understand it, these are the two of the most influential. These two ladies are at the top of the food chain. Of course, you also have to add Nicki Minaj as well, but they're at the top of the hip hop industry food chain. So why are they still, well, you can see the cover art. If you haven't seen the video or heard the video, I've got clips for you this morning, and I want to discuss it. Among other things, there's numerous things going on. I want to catch you up to date with some stories to start your morning first, and also get your opinion. Your opinion is the currency of this show. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. Please take a second to like and share this show, and we'll get started in about 30 seconds.
You're listening to the Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Nathan Ivey with you. No further ado, let's get straight to the conversation. I feel like we are way overdue. Here we are. Welcome to my home studio. Come on in. You're more than welcome. This is where I do what I do. And I'm glad you're here this morning. 513-873-7134. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, I've got a lot to talk about. Not the least of which is I want to talk about the rap game and give you a critique. And this is a critique over many decades. You know, I grew up in the hip hop generation. I am the hip hop generation. None of this Generation X nonsense. We are the hip hop generation. Each generation is defined by the most culturally or politically defining moment happened within that generation. The most culturally defining thing that happened for the folks that are born in that 20-year time frame that I was born into this world is hip hop. It's racist and a motherfucker to say anything less than that. This is the hip hop generation. I am the hip hop generation, and many of you are as well. Generation X. It's a slap in the damn face. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. And because of it, I have a very unique lens from which to judge hip hop. Some of you cats, you millennials, you just got here. Although I don't in any way disrespect the value or underplay the value of your opinion. But I'm just saying, I mean, I've got another 10 years on you, and I want to share my thoughts about this, the state of the game. It's amazing how, and they say this, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Why is it that in order to be a female in rap, you got to sell the ussy? Let me turn the music down. I'll say it again. Why is it that in order to be successful in hip hop as a female artist, you got to sell the ussy? Why is that? Empowerment or enslavement? Now, some women are going to look at that video, and there's a link in today's description as well. Some folks are going to look at that and say, oh, that's women that's in control. They're in control of their bodies. It's just amazing how when women get control as artists, they do the same thing that male artists do. And that is to objectify the female body. Now, listen, I'm a man. The male part of me ain't got no problem with it. You want to shake it, shake it. You want to twerk it, twerk it. I am a man, 100%. I ain't got no problem with it. But the more intellectual side of me has a few flows for you this morning. 513-873-7134. I am a man. So I ain't got no problem with it. It's all good in the hood. That's what you want to do to the nice beats, you go right ahead. But I mean, who is the audience for modern day hip hop? Like, who is Megan Thee Stallion's core audience? Who is Cardi B's core audience? Yeah, they got a lot of older women, but those are younger women, young, impressionable minds, teenagers, women in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know there's women in their 40s and 50s that love them some Cardi B, but you're not the core audience. So it's quite interesting in terms of what they're selling and what they're actually communicating. But again, is that empowerment or enslavement? Are they enslaved by the unwritten laws of hip hop? Enslaved by the unwritten rules of a male-dominated society? We'll discuss this morning. 513-873-7134. If you want to share your thoughts this morning. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of stuff going on. Let's start nationally and we'll work our way back. I want to give you some stories to start your morning. Let's start on a national level and talk about Donald Trump for a second, who was rushed out of a press conference because there were shots fired near the White House. Did you see this? Yeah, it's real out here, man. It is real. Very, very real. Now, what is the impact of that? What does that really mean? We'll have to figure out together, family. Quite interesting. It's world. I mean, some folks, man, I don't know if it's COVID-19 or the racial strife or whatever it is, but, you know, some folks got issues. On the international level, Russia becomes the first nation to clear a coronavirus vaccine. So now we're going into maybe another phase of the conversation about the coronavirus. The coronavirus has dominated the conversation, and rightly so, for months and months and months. And we've talked about everything from wearing masks to the impact on businesses to the impact on our schools. And now we're going to start talking about the vaccines. As more vaccines come online, we're going to be talking about whether they work, whether you should take it, are you going to take the vaccine? But Russia becomes the first nation to clear a coronavirus vaccine. And as I understand it, this is to this point, in a lot of ways, they're like in the third phase of the trials. But scientists are sounding the alarm, saying that it's kind of untested. And again, this is going to be another phase of the conversation that we're going to have as we're having a conversation about opening the schools as well. Vlad, would you trust the Russian coronavirus vaccine? I mean, it's almost rhetorical. How many people out there are going to be like, I can't wait to get it? Now, that's just the world I come from. There are some folks out there that are waiting. They are waiting for a vaccine because I want to say, I'm speaking about Americans. Americans have been conditioned to just take a pill. We are all about the one-stop shop. We are all about the quick fix. You know what I'm saying? If Americans had a choice between a long-term solution that could be healthier or a shorter-term solution that could have some health, side effects, then most Americans are going to choose. What's up, buddy? Good morning to you. You good?
Daddy, can I have those lights you have?
My what?
The lights.
No, oh yeah, I'll get you some. He wants the lights I have over there, children. But most Americans, to finish my thought, good morning to you, son. It's all about family. Most Americans will choose the quick fix, even though it has side effects. How do we know? Because we do it every day. We do it every day. I mean, how many times you've been watching television and you hear about some new drug with some new exotic name that kind of rhymes, right? Luxottica, right? And there's happy people who are like golfing and fishing and being intimate, living their best life. And then right before the advertisement goes off, you hear a voice that quickly reads a long list of side effects that nobody cares about. Because Americans, we've been conditioned for the quick fix. The same thing's going to happen with the vaccine. You want it quick, you want it fast, you want it easy. It's that fast food drive-through mentality that controls everything. That's the reason why, Americans are more obese today than ever before, because you're looking for the quick fix. So can I just take a pill and lose 50 pounds? Can I just work out one time and lose all of the weight I'm trying to lose in one sitting? You mean I've got to do this for 3 months? You mean I've got to do this for 6 months? I'm telling you, man, we are ripe for a takeover. We are ripe for a takeover. I'm telling you. You got half the population or a significant percent of the population that's all outside their comfort zone because of COVID-19, because they can't go to get chicken wings. They can't go to the movie theater. You even got black men out here breaking down because you can't go to the movie theater. All the racial strife, all about to break down and curl up into a little ball in the fetal position. And the other half of us is on drugs. Whether it be the street version and or a combination of the legal version. We talk about the illegal drugging of America, but we rarely talk about and focus on the legal drugging of America, which is even bigger problem. But the government wants to focus on street drugs. They want to talk about marijuana and heroin. They don't want to have a conversation about what you go to your doctor to get. You stand outside CVS or any place that's selling pharmaceuticals, it's a long line of people going to get their drugs. A vast majority of Americans are dope addicts, getting your dope one way or another. I'm telling you, we're right for the takeover. The Martians got us exactly where they want us. UFOs are real. Stop it. The Martians, the North Koreans, the Russians, the Chinese, the Atlanteans, whoever. We are ripe for the takeover. They could push us over with a feather. And then the population that's armed will end up shooting themselves in the foot. That's why you should join our tactical training course. We've got a date set up on September the 5th, okay? From 8 a.m. to 12 noon on September the 5th. That's the first Saturday. The cost is $100. There's a link on my Facebook page right now, and you can join that group. So when things go down, you know how to hit your target, homie. Telling you, we are doped out. If it's not illegal drugs, if it's not heroin, if it's not some street drug, marijuana, you got a lot of cats out there is completely out the game because of marijuana. They so tough talking, but they don't have the lung capacity to bust a grape. Some of the toughest dudes, they talk so tough. You get into a fight, you'll be winded in 30 seconds because you're on that marijuana, B. If not that, it's sugar. Oh, sugar got most of us, man. Sugar is a dope. If sugar's not dope, I don't know what is. And then you got all the legal drugs, all the anxiety, depression, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Blood pressure. Man, they shut down the pharmaceutical companies. It would be a riot. 30% of the population would die because you can't get your hands on your man-made chemicals. You know what I'm saying? We ripe for a takeover. I'm just saying. And now you got COVID-19 that's exacerbating all of it. I see it. It's very clear. I see it very clearly. 513-873-7134. Do you see what I see? Yeah. Some of the toughest talking dudes they not ready for no kind of physical encounter because you smoking weed all day. You fuck around and have an asthma attack trying to get into it with somebody. I know people like that. They talk so tough. They is so big and tough. Smoking weed all day. Man, they swing and miss. It's over. It's over. They don't have the lung capacity for it. I'm just telling you, 513-873-7134. Don't even get me started. It takes me down a rabbit hole I'm not prepared to go through this morning, but I just wanted to share that with you. Trump was rushed out of the briefing room after a shooting outside the White House. And the president confirmed it with reporters in a press conference afterward. And it's a damn shame that Trump is the most highly protected man in America. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't be protected. He's the president. I'm just saying he got Secret Service. He got all these things and is a problem. And apparently the suspect was shot because it's never a good thing to do. It's never a good idea to discharge a firearm outside the White House and the president is there. Quote, there was a shooting outside the White House and it seems to be very well under control. I'd like to thank the Secret Service for doing their always quick and very effective work. Yeah, that's a quote from your president, El Presidente. 513-873-7134. Again, I want to call your attention back to today's cover art. Have you got a chance to see this new video? Have you heard the video? You need to see the video. It's called WAP, Wet Ass Ussy. Right? And it stars two of the biggest female rap stars in the game right now, Megan Thee Stallion and also Cardi B. Everybody loves Cardi B. And it also has a cameo of another female, we'll say celebrity as well. Hey, caller, please stay on the line. I'll bring you straight on. I think we got Danny from the Dope Chicks Collective on the line as well. Check out that podcast on Sundays at 1 p.m. I'm very curious to see what you think about this. And I want to know, is this empowerment or enslavement? Is this just women who have the artistic control to express themselves the way they want to? Or are they enslaved to the unwritten rules of a male-dominated society, a music industry that's dominated by men, and working for record companies that they don't own? You tell me, is this the culture? Are they giving the culture what they want? Or is this women who finally have control over their creative juices and their bodies exercising and projecting and promoting what they want to promote? It's odd to me that if the latter is true, that is very similar to what men in the rap game do in terms of the way they promote, some of them anyway, promote and project images of women. You know what I'm saying? But again, I want to set the table. You give me your thoughts. Let me go straight to the phones this morning and say, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you this morning, Nathan?
I'm doing great, Danny. How you doing?
I am doing well. I'm actually kind of excited about this topic, and I know you probably expected that. So I'm looking at it from both perspectives, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with the one, the enslavement perspective first. I can remember a little while back when Cardi first released her real album, right? And there was a song on there where she was just basically talking about, you know, her husband cheating and this, that, and the third. And it wasn't like a favorite among her fans, but it was a good song, right? And she said, you know, the feedback that she got from that was, we don't want to hear that. We want to hear the other stuff that you do. So here she is back doing the other stuff that she does. And now it's an issue. But, you know, the point of doing music in the first place is to sell it, right? And you got to give the people what they want. So then you think of it from the other perspective of the enslavement, like you were saying, the record labels being owned by men, and they're writing and producing music that's degrading, especially to Black women. And no one ever critiques that. Like, there's quotes from Biggie, there's quotes from Jay-Z, there's quotes from Nas, and like you got Lil Baby, Da Baby. All of these guys have written songs that have been popular hot songs that talk about them dominating the Ussy, that talks about them taking the Ussy, about Ussy being this and Ussy being that, and no one says anything about it. That's problematic, because you mean to tell me a man that doesn't own a vagina himself can sit up and talk about one with no critiques, but yet the woman who actually has it on her body can't say anything about it. She can't embrace it. She can't be proud of it. Like, you know, I think we've been conditioned as Black women to suppress our sexuality, and sexual liberty is like foreign to us because we've been trained and groomed that our Ussy is for a man's pleasure. It's not for our pleasure. And then it's like, once the mindset shifts and we recognize that it's ours and that it's power in it, and mind you, let me just come back a few steps. Mind you, this woman is rapping about sleeping with her husband. She's not talking about sleeping around with random men or anything like that. She's talking about her having sex with her husband. And everybody's got something to say about it. Oh, it's raunchy, it's this, it's that. Those are the things that she and her husband do, that she's open about, that he's pretty much open about. He doesn't have an issue with it. She doesn't have an issue with it. It's selling.
You still there, Danny?
Yes.
Okay. Are you done?
Well, I mean, I didn't know if you had anything to say. I know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. So, well, my question is, and again, what I appreciate is that you recognize that it's nuanced, right? Of course, yeah. the title is real black and white, either or, but right. It's nuanced. And I get it. I can't disagree with anything that you said. But when we come back around to it, what's your opinion of it? Is this empowerment or is it enslavement? Is this women who have control of their bodies and their artistry, promoting and projecting one facet of their personalities? Or are they succumbing to what the crowd wants, what a male-dominated society wants? And then what about their young, impressionable minds of their artists? I mean, their audience. Older women listen to them, but, you know, the core of their audience is going to be younger women.
Right. And that was something else that we did discuss. People are looking at them like, oh, they're supposed to be role models for the younger, you know, women, not realizing Meg Thee Stallion, I think she's 24, 25 years old, and Cardi isn't too much older than her, maybe 27, 28 years old. Are you really expecting for these young women to be role models for your daughters? Isn't that your responsibility? So for me, when I look at what Cardi has said, I do feel like it's an enslavement, so to speak, because she's feeling like she has to give the people what they want, or else they're not going to buy her music, which is why she's doing it in the first place, is to sell albums, to support her family and to support her dreams. Now, if she were to have her own record label, would her music look and sound different? It's a possibility. You wouldn't know that until she's able to be in full control of her music. I mean, we just saw Megan Thee Stallion go through a whole legal suit about her music and her ownership of her music. just a few months back, so we know that she doesn't have control over her music, her image, or anything like that. She's even changed her name. She did go by Tina Snow. Now she's Meg Thee Stallion. Was that her choice or was that the record label's choice? Those are things that we can look at. But, there are women out here, who are speaking about the power and the empowerment of our bodies and loving our bodies and enjoying our sexuality that aren't, in that industry. But it shouldn't even be an issue because, if we're proud of something or if we are excited about our sexuality, why is that an issue? That I feel like it can only be a win-win when someone has confidence in themselves, regardless of where it's rooted from. And I had a quote on my page the other day that I wrote myself. I said, "You don't get to tell me what my confidence looks like." And now, your issue with my confidence is basically an issue that you have with yourself. So if these women genuinely are proud of what they're doing and they're proud of their bodies, they're proud of their sexuality, we have no right to take that away from them.
Okay. I appreciate the flows.
All right.
Take it easy.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, most definitely. Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. Yeah, appreciate kicking us off. Strong flows. That's Danny. Dope Chicks Collective. Check out the podcast. Matter of fact, the first podcast is up right now on Facebook. Go to Sin Digital Media. You can check it out for yourself. But Sundays at 1 p.m. It's the leader of the Dope Chicks Collective. I appreciate the conversation. Kicking us off this morning. How many people agree or disagree with what Danny had to say? And again, is this empowerment or is it enslavement? Is this what women look like when they're empowered? What artists look like when they're empowered? Black female artists. She made an interesting point. I mean, Meg Thee Stallion is 24. Should we ask her to do anything different? She's 24. Obviously, she's going to have a younger demographic. Cardi B, a little bit older, but still a relatively younger woman. Is it too much to ask? And to me, being a fan of hip hop going back to the 80s, there's very few female artists in the hip hop game that have been successful, very successful, who haven't had overtly sexually explicit lyrics. Can I get an amen on that? Very few. You can probably count on one hand the amount of female artists. And it's very interesting that from Foxy Brown to Lil' Kim to Meg and Cardi, it's like they all have to sell their sexuality in order to be popular. And if you look at a lot of male artists, they do the same thing in their videos when it comes to women. Why is that? 513-873-7134. Is it as simple as sex sells? Sex sells. You got a male-dominated music industry in terms of who owns it, and ownership means everything. I got a clip for you I want to share with you, probably about after 9:30 this morning, of Master P talking about Nick Cannon, and you can take what he said about Nick Cannon and apply it anywhere in the country. It's about ownership. But I'll play that a little bit. I want you to think about it. 513-873-7134. Let me go to the chop shop this morning and talk with the choppers. If you want to sacrifice your thoughts on the altar of talk radio this morning, again, 513-873-7134. You got my number. You know what to do. Think about that. I mean, from the 80s to the day, the biggest female rap artists always have to sell the Ussy. Always have to talk about their sexual prowess. There's always have to be sexually explicit. There's only a handful that have been able to be successful and not go that route. Why is it? Why is that? 513-873-7134, as I said before. Let me jump inside the chop shop and say what's up and say good morning to the choppers. Tanika is first. She writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Good morning to you. Renee is in the house. She writes, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you, Renee. As always. Brenda writes, happy Tuesday. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the choppers. Brian writes, good morning. This is my favorite part of the show, by the way. Greetings, smart, intelligent black folks. Sharp writes, good morning, Nathan and the choppers. Casey writes, good morning, Nathan and the choppers. Okay, we switching it up, Casey. I see you. I see y'all looking good. CG Dub writes, good morning, choppers. Miss Tiffany writes, morning, all. Hey, good morning to everybody. Jared writes, good morning, hashtag Team and I. Tracy's in the house. She writes, hey. Buckeye Alicia writes, successful females pander to white male executives. God's morning, Nathan and the Choppers from the Gym City. Fox writes, rise and shine, young stars. The Minister of Information writes, good morning, Nate. Pam writes, good morning. Selling sex works, the same as the lyrical content of music today. Standards continue to dwindle. They might, but when it comes to female artists, that seems pretty consistent. You got to sell your sexuality. You got to be overtly sexual in order to get a mass following. Why? And how is it that some people have been able to do that? Like when you think of someone like a Queen Latifah, she never went that route. She went the opposite, actually. Who you calling to be? Remember that? This dude touched my booty. He was nasty. I punched him dead in the eye. So she was on the opposite side of it. How was she able to carve out that lane? I've got some thoughts on it. 513-873-7134. Clue Magic writes, Grand Risings, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Black Russia writes, good morning, alt middle. Is that right? Good morning to you. Alt middle never dies, man. They just multiply. That hashtag WAP though, right? Where Ass Ussy. Now, as a man, I ain't got no problem with WAP. You know what I'm saying? Quite fond of it, quite honestly. But I'm a grown man. In terms of the images put out to our young girls, our daughters, our sisters, our nieces, what does that communicate? Or is this just grown folks music? See, I'm a big believer in that some things are for grown people. They ain't everything gonna have to be for damn kids. I'm 100% grown and I love it. I waited 18 years to become a grown person to do what I want to do, and I revel in it. I love it. There's nothing better than being grown, in my opinion. And I'm a big believer in that some things are for grown folks and some things ain't. That's how I was raised. What about you? Pam writes, air conditioning, disliking sweating, and sedentary lifestyles have taken over. I'm in my 40s and have a new appreciation for getting outside and working up a sweat. Hashtag starting over in my 40s. It's never too late, Pam. It's never too late. It's never too late. Tony writes, good morning. Brought some ammo yesterday. Thanks, Tracy. White people around looking nervous seeing a black man arming up. I loved it. Is that right? Where'd you buy it from? Yeah, because we've put together an opportunity on September the 5th. That's the first Saturday in September. It's coming up in like 4 weeks. And ammunition is at a premium. And the good folks at Ride or Die are going to try their best to procure. I have an update with you on Monday as to where they are with the ammunition and also where we are in terms of our numbers. Shout out to Forte. I did get your message, brother. And we're looking for, we want to get at least 10 or 15 people. So I suspect that there's a lot of interest and it's going to go quickly. If you're interested, hit me with a direct message. And when you see the Facebook post going around, please add your name to that and let me know you're interested. So where'd you get that? I'll hook you up. I'll catch up with you, Tony, after the show. It's interesting. Pam writes, okay, absolutely. He said white people's looking nervous because he was a black man buying ammunition. Well, let him look nervous. Just the other day, I was walking down the street I live in the Coreyville area. I walk every single day. I love living on a hill because I can walk down to downtown Cincinnati and back. I love walking up and down Sycamore Hill. I pretty much got that licked already. It's not the challenge it was a month ago, right? So that's me. I walk from Coreyville to the river and back. That's a great exercise for me. But where was I going? Oh, yeah, just yesterday, I walked past this brother. It was a tall brother, too, right? Probably about my size, if not a little bit large, a little bit taller, very larger than me, more size to him. But his energy was off. He was kind of looking around all nervously. So I walk right past the brother, 6 feet, because I walk around people. Some of these folks want to walk right past you like they want to give you a hug. I'm like, B, look. So I'll walk around people. I'll walk out into the street and everything. Let me tell you a quick story, 2 quick stories about walking during COVID. So like I said, I walk every single day, 6 days a week, minimum, 7 days a week, depending on how, I'm older now, just making sure I'm healthy. I ain't trying to injure myself. That way I can't get out and do what I want to do the very next day. So 2 days ago, I was walking in the Eden Park area. I see this white woman, older white woman. She got shades on. She's walking. She's sunburnt, so I can see she walks a lot. And I do what I always do. Like, If I'm on the sidewalk and black, white, young, old, whoever, I'll walk around you and I put my mask on, right? So I walk around this woman, put my mask on, like literally I'm in the middle of the street. I try to get as far away as possible because a lot of people when they're walking out, they don't wear a mask. I do this for myself. This white woman's like, thank you. Thank you. All right, thank you, sir. And I'm like, what the hell is she thanking me for? I guess she thought that I was walking in the street for her. No, Karen, I did that for me. I wasn't thinking about you. I did that for me. So I don't get COVID from your ass. She's like, thank you. She was so gracious. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm like, I just did like this. I give her one of those. I ain't got to talk to you. You know, black, white, or whatever. I don't have to talk. I was like, kept on. I didn't even look back. I was like, literally, like she's over here across the street. I'm like, literally across the street. She's like, thank you, sir. You think I did this for you, Karen? No, Karen, get out of your privilege. I did it for me to protect myself from you. The nerve. Anyway, and then yesterday, I'm walking past his brother, right? His energy's off. I'm the same thing. I walk into the street and I look back. He got a holster. You know, he's openly carrying his firearm. I couldn't tell. I think it was a Glock. Not that I'm some kind of like firearm, expert, but I think it was a Glock. And I could tell he wasn't comfortable with it. And if you want to go that route, you got to be comfortable. His energy was off. The way he was walking all nervous. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this dude? I'm thinking I'm going to have to do something, right? You know what I'm talking about. Like, well, who is his brother? He walking all nervous. It's almost like he didn't want people. His holster was on his right side and the street was on the left side. And it was almost as if he was walking in a way in which he didn't want people to know he had a holster on, had a firearm. If that's you, you don't need to be doing that, homie. If you ain't comfortable doing open carrying, I can understand why. Because it's different than white people. Somebody calls and says, there's a black man with a gun. Police show up, anything can happen. I get it, but you might not want to do that. If you that kind of person and you doing a thing about open and carry, just don't do it. There are some black folks I've seen open and carry. They don't give a damn. You can tell they don't care. Look at it. See it? It's here. I can use it, right? But don't be all nervous with it, homie. You should always be comfortable. Comfort is the number one thing because dude was looking very suspect. 2 quick stories. All right, Tanika writes, I have no desire to see that video. Nah, I'm good. Well, I mean, it's just a music video. You've seen worse with 2 Live Crew. 2 Live Crew was super explicit. Those guys actually were First Amendment patriots, by the way. 2 Live Crew, they crossed over to become First Amendment patriots. That's what they were. That case went all the way to the Supreme Court. There's still now court precedents because of that case. And they expanded the rights of artists to be sexually explicit, in the world of rap. So shout out to 2 Live Crew. But it's interesting. I mean, 2 Live Crew is an all-male group. Their videos and songs you would think would be different than a female group. Right? But you could take that Cardi B, and again, I would say that the 2 Live Crew is far more sexually explicit. They even had rated R versions, rated X versions of the videos. You know what I'm saying? I remember Tupac, How Do You Want It? There was an X-rated version of that, or not X-rated, but an R-rated version of that where everybody was naked. Tip Drill, Nelly. But again, those are all male artists. So the male artists will objectify the female body, and then the female artists do the same thing. They do the same thing. What's up with that? Well, you tell me. Let me go back to the phones here. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, comrade.
Hey, Black Russia, welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. I want to weigh in on the video.
Okay.
I mean, as a guy, it's very eye candy. It's only entertainment, like Jay-Z said. And think about the beat that they're using, the hook. I heard that hook when I was a kid. Ain't nothing changed.
Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah.
Right. Ain't nothing changed in the hip hop game.
Not in the game. I mean, think about the beat. Now, people in there talking about some justice for Breonna Taylor and blah, blah. I get that. That's true at the same time. But don't be no hypocrite as if you wasn't shaking your booty when these in this house came on. Don't act like you wasn't shaking your booty. ladies. People forget real quick where
They do
came
forget.
from. They forget when they was in Golden State out there in Springdale on the dance floor,
Right.
taking it up. And there's some O's in this house come on, and everybody busting to the split. People act like they never happened, Nathan Ivey.
True, they do. They get brand new.
Man, super brand new. So people need to get over it. And dudes, I ain't go to the ladies. Dudes, check out the video. It's hotter than Nelly's tip drill on everything.
Is it? I don't know if it's hotter. I think Nelly's tip drill was more sexually explicit than this.
Oh, man. Oh, it just happened to be more women.
I mean, did you see the R-rated version of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
When it first came out.
Yeah, because they showed nudity. They had nudity in that
2002.
video. There's no nudity in this version.
Yeah.
It's just very sexually explicit.
Was it nude? Yeah, okay, the chicks in the hot tub was nude. You're right. I was going to say that was like the only part. I can't remember no other nudity other than the hot tub. But I think this is people are crying foul, talking about they're not respectable. I mean, come on, y'all. That we forgot that we were once kids, teenagers popping it, watching these girls pop it in Golden Gates. And then Zavos up there in Mason, Sharonville and all that. This is nothing new. So stop the fake outrage, please.
So nothing new. So what about the question, empowerment or enslavement? What do you see?
I see it as empowerment. Dudes talk about getting hit all the time in rap songs. Now the women talking about it. Not tripping about it.
Okay. I appreciate the call, man. Anything else?
Hip hop game that's it. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how effective Gabe Davis is going to be as the director of the Citizens Complaint Authority.
Yeah, that is breaking news in the last 24 hours. Yeah, he's the new director, executive director of the Citizens, like you said, the Citizens Complaint Authority. We'll see what he does with it.
We'll see, but I mean, everybody knows CCA ain't got no teeth. They make recommendations, but I believe this is going to be just a dress up. CCA has no teeth to enforce anything. So fully funded and everything like that, that's cool and all, but when it comes down to it, it's a paper tiger. So maybe he'll change under him. Maybe he'll be able to push for it to be not a paper tiger. But we'll see. I just thought that would be interesting. But yeah, my main call was about that WAP, boy.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Hey, appreciate the call, man. Take it easy.
All right now.
Yeah, we do have to talk about that. I'll reach out to Mr. Gabe Davis. And I'd heard about this going back to Friday and was just told, hey, don't say anything about it, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. And of course, you know me, you know what I'm saying? But it's interesting. To me, whoever's going to be the director now is Gabe Davis has to be loud. They got to be loud to be effective. They got to be loud. They got to be, they can't, to me, if that's going to be effective, it can't be run with a Cincinnati polite attitude. Is that what Gabe Davis is going to bring to the table? We'll find out together. Let me go. Hold on back here. Yeah. Let me go back to the phones. Hey, good morning and welcome to the show.
What's up, Nate?
What's up?
Minister.
Minister of Info. What's up, man?
Not much. Driving through Louisiana. I just want to tell you, thank you too, because I'm living out my dreams now, and I am a truck driver now.
Are you?
So
okay.
Yeah, I am a truck driver. I travel to U.S.
Okay, damn. I was wondering what happened to you, man. That's great news. What's it like?
Yeah. Man, I love it, man. But I tell you this, like, some of these truck drivers are just nasty. They don't wash their hands after they poop and everything, and don't wear no mask. It's terrible. It's terrible. But it's good, man. I love it. One thing I wanted to call on, man, it was that Megan Stallion and Cardi B. I watched the video, and I think it's empowerment because I'm 27, and the Cardi B. I think Cardi B is the same. Me and her is the same age, I think, and I think it's empowerment. It's not enslavement, but I'm gonna tell you this: I think it's enslavement to the kids. This is something not for the children. This is not for because the thing is that the kids start listening to this stuff. The kids start listening to this stuff and everything. That's when we get fast girls, little girls, fast girls. Oh, I all want to be like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. You get what I'm saying?
I think there's a connection, but I think it's a little deeper than that. But go right ahead.
But I think that's when stuff's about to go. Stuff goes wrong. You know, I think that should be like an explicit. You know what I mean? On the CD, not on YouTube, because the simple fact of the matter is that when these kids start watching it, you start going. You know, they start getting fast and stuff like that. And I mean, but I think it's empowerment because you know all the songs now these days is still sexual active. You know, they trying to be like they trying to be like Salt and Pepper. Ain't nothing wrong with Salt and Pepper. They was doing it. Push It Real Good. Remember that?
True. Not as explicit. Like Push It Real Good is nowhere near as explicit as Wet Ass Ussy. You know what I mean? The context of it is true. It's like that too. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Start Push It Real Good. I mean, come on now. If I was young, what does that mean? You know, and then I look up the lyrics. Oh, that's what it meant. Now these kids, they take stuff and they be like, oh, my pussy was wet. They'd say that. You know, so I look at it as, yeah, they gonna make the money off this. And if they stay together, like as a group, they stay together, they gonna make some money, man. Come on now, they gonna make money. You know? They will. So I think it's empowerment, but at the same time, I think it's enslavement to the children because they don't need to. The kids don't need. You know, we always got to think of the children. I know you won't let your daughter listen to this. If she was on YouTube right now and she said, "Dad, look what I listen to. I'm listening to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion," you would go crazy. Would you or would you not? I wouldn't. It wouldn't be my first choice, no. But the other thing is, I would sit down with her and break it down for her. You know, I'm that dad. I don't shy away from no conversations. I don't sugarcoat nothing. You want to know? We're going to sit down. I'm going to tell you what's up. And I'm going to use all the most explicit and relevant language so she understands it. So she hears it from me in at home first. Right. That's how it is. But that's how my dad is too. You know, that's how my dad is. But you know good and well that some of these parents ain't going to do that. You know, some of these parents won't do that. And see, that falls on the parent. So you said something earlier, Minister, you was like, well, you know, it's enslavement to the young girls because it might make them fast. I don't think a song can make a young girl fast. I think it's more the home environment. If mom and dad are not right, if the home environment is not right, then the kid is going to look to these songs and take cues out of it, right? But even let me check myself because I remember you watching and being a big fan of Too Short. Like I thought I knew that's what I got to go to. Right. That was my go-to. Even though I had mom and dad there and grandparents and uncles, all those folks was there telling me stuff. That was a part of youth culture. So I gravitated to it. And it had a real impact in the way I interact with young girls when I was younger because I was looking at them through the lens of what Too Short said. So you're right. The music does have an influence. And you want to be like Too Short. I thought that was the way to be. That's what the girls want. But I'm getting this too, Nate, is that these days, sometimes too, the music is getting far out there. It is. It's getting far out there, and you can grab it on anywhere. It's free. So I think some of the stuff now we need to calm it down, especially with this new generation, because now this new generation, and I'm part of the new generation, is that, you know, these 15, 16-year-old boys and girls, now they're getting off the chain. And now, you know, they have some of their moms is like probably 16 years older than them, and they young. So the thing is that, like you said, it's where you came from, what household you grew in. And the thing is, these kids take that music and twist it, and then let me try to live that life. Simple as that. But I think it's empowerment, Nate. I love your show. I want to just say thank you for encouraging me, and now I'm living my dreams. Oh, most def, brother. Where you headed to? And now I'm heading to New Hampshire. New Hampshire, okay. Louisiana right now. Okay. So safe travels, man. Yeah, thanks. And love your show. God bless. Same to you, brother.
My brother's doing his thing. I love to hear that. That is great. That is great. I love to hear it. All right, let me throw my number out into the ether again and see what happens. The comments have been real interesting. We got two brothers that say empowerment. Empowerment. This is an example of empowerment. Nate, what you talking about? I want to get your thoughts. Have you seen the new video? Have you heard about this new song? It's called WAP, which is an acronym for Wet Ass Ussy. We grown folks. I should be able to say that. What do you think? Empowerment or enslavement? And what's the connection between Salt and Pepper and their debut song, which was Push It, which was sexually explicit, and what we're seeing with modern day female rap artists? I'll make the connections when we come back. It's the Nathan Ivey Show, live, local, vocal, powered by Sin Digital Media, and I'll be right back.
The Nathan Ivey Show is supported by listeners. Go to www.patreon.com/Nathan Ivey Show and help Nathan keep the show independent.
Black Business Report. I'm Donna Wilson. RLJ Launching Trust and Park Hotels and Resorts saw huge revenue declines in the second quarter, but the head of the Real Estate Investment Trust thinks it can ride out the storm. RLJ Lodging suspended operations at 57 of its hotels as a result of COVID-19. Robert L. Johnson, the founder of BET, is the founder and chairman of the RLJ Companies, a business network that owns or holds interests in businesses operating in hotel real estate, private equity, 401k fintech services, automotive dealerships, content streaming, gaming, and sports betting. And Black employees say Veterans Affairs has a serious racism problem. According to The Root, a survey of 1,500 employees revealed that nearly 80% of them believe that racism is a serious and widespread problem within the government agency. That's your Bloomberg Black Business Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start? And scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified, marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder.
Listen, there are a few times in life to make history. Hamilton County was founded 230 years ago, but has never elected a Black county treasurer. It's time for change. Elect a proven, trusted, experienced candidate for Hamilton County Treasurer, Charlie Winburn. We know Charlie, and he knows us. Charlie Winburn was the former chairman of the Jobs and Growth Committee on Cincinnati City Council under the Honorable Democrat Mayor Mark Mallory. Winburn led the fight to keep 2,000 U.S. postal jobs in Cincinnati. He also fought for wage increases for thousands of city employees, especially our sanitation workers. Charlie Winburn will safeguard more than $1.4 billion in real estate taxes and will increase new home ownership and new jobs. On Tuesday, November 3rd, vote Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer. Let's make history together.
I am Charlie Winburn, and I'm asking you for your vote, paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn.
Hello, I'm Charlie Winburn with Renew Community Church. It seems like the coronavirus came from nowhere. I have some good news that if you never quit and don't give up, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family. Take your life back. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday, 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CincyRenew. Rewrite your life while at home. Join Renew Community Church for the 12-week Rewrite.me series each Sunday on Facebook Live. Renew your life at home. Go to SundayConnectCircle.org for a free 12-week, 200-page PDF. Take your power back. Rewrite your life. Join Renew Community Church each Sunday at 11:45 a.m. on Facebook Live, facebook.com/CINCI-Renew. I am Charlie Winburn, and remember, out of nowhere, the way will be made for you and your family.
You're listening to The Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now, let's get back to the flow.
good morning, family. Welcome back. Hope all is well in your world. Hope you're COVID-19 free. Hope you're feeling sane out here, staying healthy. Welcome back to the last honest place in Cincinnati media. I'll say it again. This is the last honest place in Cincinnati media. I'll say it again. You are listening to the last honest place in Cincinnati media. Good morning to you. My question for you this morning is empowerment or enslavement? Talking about and critiquing the modern day rap game, comparing and contrasting. It's quite interesting that modern day female rap artists are very similar, at least one way, to female rap artists from the 80s and the 90s. If you think about it, that first Salt and Pepper track was Push It, right? Push what? It was talking about sex, right? They were talking about sex. Why is that a condition for success for female rap artists? When is that going to change? Now, and how is it that you have some outliers like Queen Latifah? Well, I think it's like anything else. Queen Latifah came in, she made the lane that she wanted to be in. She made the lane that she wanted to be in, right? She became the female rap artist that she was inside and what she wanted to see. That was it. And if Queen Latifah can do it, why can't other black, or not black, but just female rap artists do it as well? Or are we being overly critical? Is it sexist in and of itself to have this conversation about what female rap artists are doing? We don't do this with the men. Our first caller is Danny Blue with the Dope Chicks Collective. Again, check out that podcast live streaming on Sundays at 1 p.m. The first episode, the first reboot episode, live stream is up right now on Facebook. Head over to Sin Digital Media, CIN, short for Cincinnati Sin Digital Media. Check it out for yourself. Please like and share that podcast. What do you think? What do you think? Empowerment or enslavement? We talked to a couple of brothers that called in. They're like, no, this is empowerment, Nate. Okay, that's interesting. It's very interesting. Does it all come down to a male-dominated society? The prurient interest of men is what sells, so that's what female rap artists do. If WAP was an acronym that had more to do with like women empowerment and politics, would it have 60 million plays on YouTube right now? Are there certain realities that might be uncomfortable in terms of the rap game, and we'll say what American rap consumers want to consume, right? And what we as intellectuals and conscious black folks and other folks think. If you're in it to make money, then you make money. And we'll worry about everything else later. I would imagine Megan Thee Stallion and also, getting a call from Brother Lawrence here. Also Megan Thee Stallion and also Cardi B are in it to make money. Does it all come down to the particular artist and who they are and what they want to be? This is a lane they chose for themselves. It's sexually explicit. Or am I being unfair? Are we being unfair in a critique of this particular song? Because as we all know, people are more than just one thing. Nobody is just one thing. Nobody's all good or all bad or whatever. If you listen to some of these rap albums, many of them have multiple themes. They might have 2 or 3 tracks where they're talking about politics. They may have 2 or 3 tracks, or the rest of the tracks where they're talking about sexuality. Is it wrong or anything different? Is it different or wrong when a female artist sells their sexuality or raps about their sexuality? Is that different than when a male artist raps about their sexuality? You got a lot of dudes out there rapping about all the women they smashing. Is it wrong when a woman raps about the men that they're smashing? You tell me. We got a call on the line. Let's go straight to it. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Brother Nathan?
I'm doing great, Brother Lawrence. Welcome to the show, brother. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, my brother.
Good to hear.
Thank you.
Good to hear. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Well, I want to answer the question, empowerment or enslavement. And I think that it empowers the artist, but enslaves the listener. So the artist is empowered because, there's control. People are listening. You're making money, viewership, getting your point across. But in terms of the listener, it's enslavement. I mean, I don't, out of all, and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, I mean, they're the flavor of the month right now. But it's still an enslavement. I don't know who listens to that and feels empowered. I mean, I just don't see it. So that's my particular take on that, and I say that because it's not just like some a stable adult that's listening to everything and digesting it. A lot of times people playing this music around their children, they don't think nothing of it. I see videos, world star videos all the time. You probably see some videos today on TikTok. Somebody got their kid bouncing to it, and it's cute, and it's like, yeah, it's cute, it's funny, but then when you look at the what's produced from that, now you got to start denying and making excuses and explaining. That ain't the reason why our communities or why our children act like that. That ain't okay. It may not be the sole reason, but it is a part of that. And I don't think it's just on the women. I think it's across all borders. Men have enslaved their listeners to it too. That's why you got a whole generation. They act how they listen, how they act according to the music that they listen to. When you look at the brothers, and you look at 40-year-old men who've been listening to music since the 90s, how they still dress, Nate? They still trying to look like little teenagers trying to compete. You got 40-year-old men competing with 20-year-old men going to the Chalet and Treehouse and any other club in the city, going to Avenue, still trying to compete. Well, where does that come from? Because it can't come from reading books for the last 20 years. It can't come from that. So, people don't want to acknowledge that. So when you look at the women's side, okay, that's fine. You can talk about it. But then now you become a slave to it if you start to emulate it. And what do we see from the women? They do try to emulate it. I see it. I'm not gonna say all, but I see a measurable amount of women, blonde hair, trying to get fake breasts, trying to get fake booties. I mean, all this stuff. But Cardi B ain't gonna tell them that she gonna turn into Little Kim, 10, 15 years from now, looking like a faded gold pillar of salt. She ain't gonna mention that. So I mean, it's pros and cons to everything. But ultimately, I think people who are short-sighted, you do become a slave to it. Because I'm trying to figure out what's the empowering part of it. I haven't figured it out. What you think?
I appreciate your flows, man. I appreciate your flows. Something to think about. I can't say I disagree with you. Yeah, we on the same page. And I've seen those 40-year-old dudes, and I just shake my head. Not me. You know what I'm saying? But I can't explain it. Maybe it is a kind of music, trying to be young, trying to fit in with the youth culture. I say when you're 20, be 20. When you're 30, be 30. When you're 40, be 40, and so on and so forth. That's what I say.
Right. We're supposed to grow, and sometimes the music, if our favorite artist never grows and we keep listening to them, we're not going to grow. I mean, that's a fact of life. I'll say this, and then I'm gonna get off the phone. I never let my son listen to like rap music growing up. And I got that from my parents. When we was listening to My Mind Playing Tricks on Me. And my parents heard it, like, man, what is that? They made us write out the lyrics. Like, man, I want to see what they saying. And we there with the tape, line it back and forth, because we remembered the lyrics, but I couldn't, not enough to write them down. And I appreciated that, maturing, growing up. So with my son, I'm like, oh man, I can digest it. These fools just entertainers to me. I look at them like white people look at them, man. Just get out there and tap dance and clap your hands. I don't follow you like that. You just here to make me feel good for the moment. So with my son, I'm like, I know you can't handle this stuff I'm listening to. I ain't about to play no Tupac and no Limit for you. You gonna go crazy. And he didn't listen to it for a long time until it was like, all right, it's out of my control, but I done instilled some different things into you. So you're not going to listen to this music and be amped up to go ride on somebody. So, it's everybody, but he's not a slave to music. You see what I'm saying? So I think Short-sighted, yeah, it's all good. It's all gravy. But we got to understand at the same time, and not to go super deep, but we are in a system of white supremacy, that's dominated by that. So we got to understand if that's being promoted and projected, we can't just keep playing dumb in 2020 like, it ain't no big deal. All right, man. You keep believing that, and that'll be to your detriment. And that's all I got, brother.
That's all I need, brother. Thanks for the call. This brother Lawrence doing big things. Follow him on Facebook, doing big things for our community. I appreciate it. Appreciate the flows. Interesting. What do you think? What do you think? So we've had a range of opinions here. Like I said, the audience are very smart people, very smart, intelligent black people primarily. But what do you think? 513-873-7134. I want to get your thoughts on it. Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion teamed up. They got a brand new song and it's super hot. Let me look on YouTube here. It's super hot. People loving it. They got, I think yesterday, almost 68 million views. It's number 7 in terms of trending on YouTube. And YouTube is just a big search engine with, I can't even tell you, hundreds of millions of videos and views and plays every single day across multiple channels, right? Millions of channels, right? And if you can trend on YouTube, you getting hella popular. To be top 7, top 10 on YouTube is huge. They're number 7 right now. I'm looking at it on YouTube right now. That's huge. That means people are watching it. They must like it. My question is it empowerment or enslavement? Real simple. You tell me. 513-873-7134. Brother Lawrence says it's empowering for them because they getting the views. It's enslavement for the audience. I think we've gotten that from a couple people this morning, which I think is a very interesting take. Again, I can give you my opinion all day long. I want to know what you think. What do you think this morning? If you're on the line, please hold on. I'm coming straight to you. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, brother? This is our brother Ronald Hummins.
Hey, what's up, Ron Hummins? How you doing, man? Good morning.
Man, I'm great, man. How you feeling?
I can't complain, man. Better. I'm more blessed than I should be, brother. How about yourself?
Man, the same here, bro. I can't complain at all, man. Getting this boy ready for college.
Yep.
Howard University next year.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the show, man.
So,
what's on your mind?
Thank you, man. Okay, so for me, all of this, man, goes back to what I've been fighting for and been pushing for the last couple of years, which is trauma. Right. So let me give you a listener's example. I've had a young lady the other day, and she has 10 kids, right? And good person, she's not, not like a bad person or anything like that. So I'm not trying to create that narrative, but she has 10 kids and a lot of baby daddies. And she told me, well, I always wanted to have a lot of kids. That was always my dream, to have 10 kids. And I had to show her, that's not true. You're living in your trauma. See, so we go through these traumatizing events, in our childhood that creates our realities that we live in as adults. And we have to create the narrative to justify it. So it's like a lot of stuff that we see on TV, the Cardi B and a lot of the stuff, man, and the rap music, even with the guys, the violence and stuff like that. We don't even understand, man, that we are literally living in our trauma. But that chaos has become so normal for us that we don't see it as dysfunction. We don't see it as chaos. You understand what I'm saying? And, and so they're speaking, these traumatized people that have these platforms are speaking to me, the other traumatized people that don't have the platform, that are consuming all of this stuff that they give. So until we heal that piece, because like I told the young lady, you're living in your trauma. You have 10 kids and they're all a mess. Your life is chaotic. It's a mess. Like you're struggling. You're deep in poverty, but yet you want to try to justify it by saying, well, I always wanted to have a lot of kids. No, that's not fact. Fact is, and the more normal way of doing things is you get your life together, get your degrees, get your education, whatever, it is you want to do to support yourself financially, create that base, get married, establish a family, and then start having children in a way where they can be able to really be able to sustain themselves and you sustain your family. Just having kids with a bunch of dates, like you're living in your trauma. So until we heal that piece, and like I always keep saying, man, until we heal our trauma, we're going to continue living the way that we've been living for decades now. So that's my piece right there, bro. That's all I got to give.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Take it easy. That's another good brother, man, out here doing big things in our community. I always encourage people to follow him as well. There's people listening to, see that those are the brothers I'm looking at like, oh, okay, that's what time it is. Some two brothers right there, back to back, doing, I think, what will be incredible work for our community. So, you know, and this is the t-shirt, State of Emergency. I 100% support it. I think he's 100% on point. It pains me when I hear, you know, the resistance that brother's getting, because the work he's doing is what's really important. Whatever happened, happened. We passed all that. The work is what matters. I think, as he said, I mean, we underplay that trauma piece. There are so many adults out there that think that the decisions that they're making are their own, and they are in a sense, but it's shaped by the trauma that happened to you as a child. Again, I'm not a clinical psychologist. That's a little bit out of my, you know, out of my depth to talk about it all in like a clinical standpoint. But as a conscious black man, as I would like to think of the intelligent black man, it make perfect sense. It make perfect sense. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Brother Ivy.
Yes.
Brother Powell, how many times you and I have this discussion on hip hop, rap, whatever they choose to call it? How many times you and I have a discussion on the level of the subliminal messages in this music to our community? Brother Ivy, you know something wrong. Do you hear Asian people out there rapping about taking swords and cutting each other up all day? You hear country music? Do you hear anything? I think that slavery, the worst thing that ever happened to us. Slavery, then hip hop, welfare, and crack cocaine. Because, Brother Ivy, if you listen to the message and look at our young people, how they dance, man, how they act. And I'm not saying that it's all bad, because, you know, we got conscious brothers like Common, you know, then you had KRS-One, then we had the pro-righteous teachers, but they never pushed that. You see them in the back, they put the brothers and sisters that saying positive stuff in the back burner. And you see Little this and Thug this and Killer this. And I'm going to say something about Ivy. You know this. I worked at the Ritz for 15 years. I said, 50 Cent, why you keep playing it's all drugs, violence? I mean, you see the same thing, sex, and him, Rick Ross. I thought Gucci, they all say the same thing, Brother Ivy. You know this. Hey, Brother Powell, when I get to a certain level, I'm going to stop. I'm just using this to get some money right now. I'm just trying to eat. You and I both, we understand that. But at some point, you got to say, well, why are you not rapping about education and the family? And I know it's not popular. I ain't mad. I understand what they're saying. But as a community, at some point, we got to say, guess what? But you see them, you got a daughter. I got a daughter. You got a son. You got a daughter. You don't have a son. But look at how the guy's going to approach her. Is he going to call her an intelligent young woman? Or is he going to say B? Or the words that we use, it comes from the music. And you know that's the truth, Brother Ivy. They hear it over and over and over again. And when I walk in my building, Brother Ivy, 500 people strong. I look at the young people's mentality, thug, killer. Where do they get that from? You know it's the truth. It's a subliminal message of this music. And it's sad, because at the end of the day, when you look, you see the same 5 topics. It's drugs, it's violence, it's they self, it's money. I'm like, man, rap about Wall Street, y'all. Do something. Take it on another level. And I like Jay-Z, because sometimes you hear him like, you know, try to give a positive message. But come on, Brother Ivy, you know as a whole, they just keep pushing it and pushing the same crazy message. Jail is so good and none of them locked up. They talk about the hood all day, but very few of them go back and try to do something positive. And you know the sad truth, man. I saw not just that video, all of them. I met most of them rappers. I'm like, come on, y'all, we need a better message for our community. And you very seldom see any of it. And I'll tell you something, Brother Ivy, you notice a fact. Most of the powerful people in that industry do not look like me and you. It's the same thing when you was at the radio station. The people in power does not look like us, and that's our problem. And as soon as the brothers start to talk about taking over that, you know the negativity comes. It comes because they understand the game, and this is sad what they're doing to our community, man. And you know this is true, Brother Ivy, because the righteous brothers and sisters in the game, they're not opening the door for them, because somebody's trying to rule game with us, man. And we take it in our minds. I'm telling you, look at the community. Before hip-hop, it was Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson and Marvin Gaye. Now look at us, y'all. Because of what they putting in programming like our babies. And I'm telling you, they listen. The brother, before he hit the needle on the head, Brother Ivy, if the mother and father listen to it, y'all can get deep all day. The kids is going to hear it. And look at what they do. Look at the mass tape of our babies. Look at them. Just look at the actions. Mathematics does not lie. Look at what's happening to us, man. And it's a part of that music industry. Economic, social, political systems is designed to keep us behind. And we keep falling for the same thing over and over again. Look at them dance. I'll be like, what the heck? How old is you dancing like that? Girl, stop moving your body like that. Stop dressing like that. And as soon as you say that to their parent, Brother Ivy, you the enemy. So they're like, no, they just kids. No, they're not. Don't let her dance like that. When as she begins to progress and get older, her body gets to move like that. You know what's going to happen. Then they walk in my building pregnant because guess what happened? She begin to dance like that. He begin to see her as that, as an object. And it's sad, man. And that's a sad truth, Brother Ivy, to what they do in our community. And we keep accepting it, brother. And you know that's sad. I'm not mad at Cardi B and other girls that getting money. They do what they do. That's their business. But at some point, put your clothes on and tell our little sisters that they're beautiful, that they're smart, they're intelligent. You know what I'm saying? You're a woman. You're a queen. You never hear that. And when you do that, the small person that they never put them in the limelight. It'd be one deep song and the rest of it all craziness, man. And you know it's the truth, Brother Ivy, because look what happens to our community. They're not building nothing up. If we put our money together, our resources from hip hop, we could change the whole thing. And everybody in power say that. But look what happens to them. You don't see no more KRS-One. You don't see Ice Cube. You don't see Queen Latifah. There's Lauryn Hill. You don't see none of that. They don't put it in front, Brother Ivy. It's always in the back burner. Oh, here y'all Negroes take this one deep person, and the rest is all little this and thug this and killer that. Man, come on, man. You know it, Brother Ivy. You know it's the flow, brother. You know what they doing to us, man. It's the truth. That's all I want to say, Brother Ivy.
Hey, appreciate the call. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I listen, I get it. I get it. I understand it 100%. I mean, we got a call from Black Russia earlier. I want to go back to something that Black Russia said. And he said, we grow up and we forget. I think that's true. You know, what we're looking at is youth culture, youth music culture. Music has always, and will always heavily influence youth, people in general. Music will always have an influence and be a factor. If you don't have parents that can guide you, that can check you, that can break things down with you, then it's going to have more of an influence. But even if you did, like I said, I grew up listening to Too Short. Some of my early interactions with young ladies, I was looking at them through a lens of Too Short because I thought that's what they wanted. Too Short was the man. He doing all these different sexual things. I want to do that, right? I never went too far with it because I had the parents and I had that home structure to kind of bring me back to reality. But it was a factor for a short time. I remember it very clearly. I remember talking to girls on the phone, you know, in my teens, talking to them the same way Too Short was rapping in the music. It's going to happen. I think we need to carve out not an exception, but just a reality that, you know, you can be more than one thing at one time. So, for instance, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, their very next song together could be on some pro-black, pro-politics, pro-female empowerment type stuff, right? And I think that reflects the multifaceted reality of all of our personalities. So, for instance, I love a good documentary. I can watch a good documentary, teach me something about history. I love it. But I don't want to watch that ish all the time. I say it again. I mean, I love some KRS-One. I love all the more conscious rappers, Dead Prez, you name them. I loved all of them. But I like some called gangster rap as well. So no one is just one thing. It's very few people that's one thing. I think the older you get, the more you just get into one thing, right? But when you're younger, and I think just the reality of it is that you're multifaceted. You've got many interests. I like to watch sports, but I also like to watch documentaries, and I like to watch reality shows, and I like to watch cooking shows. You know, people into different things. You know what I'm saying? You like the Nathan Ivey Show, but you might like some different shows and some different. That's just the way it is. And I'm wondering if that's what we're seeing here. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't new. I got a clip for you right here. I want to play for you, right? You got to hear this. Hold on. Before we do that, I got a call on the grid. Let me take the caller first. Hey, good morning, caller. Welcome to the show. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, brother. I didn't even hang up first.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know you still on the line, brother. Yeah, go ahead and hang up.
I got you.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. I know we have some people trying to call in, but again, I'm a one-man operation right now. I'm doing everything. So if you get cut off, that's me cutting you off because we can hear the beep on the phone through the telephone line. But by all means, it's an open invitation. Your opinion is the currency of this show. So please call me back and I'll try to put you straight on. I know there's a lot of interest with this particular topic this morning. I'm very interested as well. But I want to play something for you. This is you got to see this. You got to see this. This is from TMZ. TMZ caught up with Master P. They caught up with Master P really a month ago, okay? And it was right after the whole thing went down with Nick Cannon. And Master P says something that I think that you can apply to every city in the country and also to the equation of what we're talking about now with female artists as well. And he gives his opinion about Nick Cannon. But check this out.
It got pretty serious. You know what I'm talking about, right? With they said anti-Semitic remarks or whatever. Yeah. And a lot of people are now saying like, you can't even be saying that, and then also trying to get justice for your people. Mm-hmm. So what do people do right now with this whole like anti-Semitism talk?
Well, I think it's about ownership now. We got to start owning our own product, owning our own networks. Until then you can't say what you want to say all the time. You got to watch what you say when you're a public figure. So, my advice to Nick, it's time to go own something now. You want to do something, let's go do it together. But we got to start thinking ownership. We got to stop burning our blocks down. We protesting. We got their attention now. It's time for us to own something now.
So you think that's where it stems from? Like the idea that all the black talent, that's out in America, it's not black owned. It's got
to be. If you look at right now, Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben, 130 years, those products been on the shelves, and we didn't own it. But it looked like us, so we've been spending money, billions and billions those companies made. Now it's time for people like us to come up with products, come up with brands, and also own the product. So we can put money back into the communities. We can create networks, production companies, so now we can own it. And then you don't have to worry about getting fired if you own something.
So what's the advice that you give to caution black entrepreneurs that are calling out for that to happen, but they're mistakenly kind of getting into this anti-Semitic kind of lingo?
Well, guess what? You don't need to be talking about it. That's what I'm saying. You're either the boss or you're a worker. It's the difference. If you're the boss, you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like his career? I mean, you see, he kept the Masked Singer job. He's made an apology.
The only thing that I hate that Nick Cannon apologized. He shouldn't have did that.
Really?
Yeah. You know why? You know why I say that? Because whatever's gonna happen, gonna happen. He's not the boss of that company. So if you really stand on that, just stand on it, and you know that you might say something in a moment or whatever. But I think Nick Cannon is a good guy. So I think you got to realize what you're doing. You're working for somebody. So if they get rid of you, they get rid of you. What are you going to do?
But I mean,
I wish I'd seen this earlier. I just came across this within the last 24 hours. You might have seen it, but it just came across my radar screen. Man, shout out to Master P, man. That brother got so much, he's just a wealth of knowledge. I love watching his interviews. He said a lot there you can apply to a lot of what we talk about on a regular basis. But just going back to Nick Cannon, that's what time it is. He said you either a boss or you a worker. There is no in between. It's either or. We need more black male owned and run, black female owned and run media companies. That's why I started Sin Digital Media. It's a whole different, and I know it's different levels. I know I'm on a different level now in the minds of some people anyway than when I was in corporate radio. But the difference is I do me 100%. Nobody's going to walk in and say a word. And people underestimate the value of that. I hear people all the time like, damn, Nate, I wish you was there. I don't. What I feel now, what I'm doing now is invaluable. I can't get that working for somebody else. I think we need more of that. I was watching this brother named Kevin Samuels. He's He's like the flavor when it comes to doing relationship shows. I'm gonna reach out to the brother, try to bring him on his platform. He talks about relationships and things like that. He's getting a lot of plays on YouTube. And I saw one of his videos recently in which the question was, and again, I'm paraphrasing here loosely. The question was essentially, why are black men on the bottom? That's not even paraphrasing. That was the title of his particular YouTube channel. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. I enjoy his show and his channel. And he said one of the reasons why is because we don't have enough black male-owned media. And he's right about that. Because when it's black-owned, black man-owned, black female-owned, it's going to look and sound differently. Your expectations of the people that work with you is going to be different. You set the narrative different. That's part of the problem in the city of Cincinnati. And I would suspect it's part of the problem throughout these communities, quite honestly, because the narrative is not created and controlled by you. That's the reason why I started Sin Digital Media. That's the reason why I smile every single day, because there's levels to it. And it's all about what's important to you. And I think the brother's on point. Same thing with the music industry. We need more black female-owned major record companies. Now, would that produce a different brand of female rap artist? We don't know. I mean, I have to suspect, yeah. Because when you run what you do, you're going to produce something differently than when you're working for somebody else, no matter how big the platform. No matter how, whatever that comes along with it, right? The visibility that comes along with working with somebody else. When you're doing it for yourself and you're a conscious person, as I am, then you're going to produce and look at things a lot differently. Going back to Nick Cannon, I mean, I went back and forth with some of the listeners about that, some of the callers about it. I stand by what I said. Black people should have a space to pontificate, even when other people don't like it and it's uncomfortable, without people saying that the sky is falling and, you know, you're the next Hitler and all this other kind of nonsense. Everybody else has space to pontificate. Why shouldn't we? Everybody else, you got all these YouTube channels with people saying the dumbest ish I've ever heard in my entire life. Nobody says a word about it. Soon as a black man with some kind of stature says something that people are uncomfortable about, he's trying to exterminate the Jewish people. No, he's not. He's pontificating on YouTube. That's all it was. It's nothing more than that. And he's talking ish on YouTube, waxing political, whatever you want to call it. We should be able to have those safe spaces to do the same thing that everybody else do without people calling you and branding you a threat to the community. Nobody else does that. It's called pontification, folks, nothing more. But let me go back to the phones here. More of you, less of me. And let's say good morning. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Brother Nathan?
Yes, I'm here, brother. Can you hear me?
Yes, how you doing, man? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First time caller, long time listener, man.
Glad to have you. What's your name, brother?
Yes, sir. My name Keith, man.
Keith?
Listen to you every morning, man.
Oh,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Appreciate you, Keith. Thank you so much, man. What's on your mind, Keith?
Hey, absolutely. Hey, I just wanted to touch on something Brother Lawrence said, you know, when he said it was empowering to the artists and enslavement to us. And I got to say, I totally agree with that, man. Being a consumer of hip hop myself, you know, you can just see it, you know, and I remember, you know, talking to one of my cousins back in the day. And, you know, I asked him, like, well, what made you get in the game? You know, he was out there doing his thing. Thank God he ain't doing that type of stuff now. He said he watched a movie called Scarface. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to grab a kilo. You know, I'm like, well, you know, I can see that. Then you fast forward to the day when you had an artist like Lil Wayne come out and, you know, he get tattoos all in his face. Now you got guys running around with tattoos in their face. So, you know, they don't call these people influencers for nothing because they do realize that, you know, that type of stuff sell and it seemed like it easily sell to us. Our culture influenced everything, you know, and I've always recognized that in the stuff that we consume, we tend to follow it, right? So I think it is one of those things where it can be a detriment to you, especially if you're not in your children's life, man, to really guide them in the direction that they need to go, you know, and you can easily be influenced. What you think?
I can't disagree with you, brother. I can't disagree with you. I 100% agree with that. Right. That's why it's so important for fathers to be in the house and be in the lives, at the very least, of their children, because you're right. That's why they call them influencers. Younger folks, people in general, but the youth are going to be influenced by music. It's been that way since the beginning of time. It's always going to be that way, especially with the internet these days.
Always gonna be that, right?
Always.
And I do see that, you know, like movies like, not to, you know, take off the music subject, but just stuff that influences. You've seen it in like New Jack City. You know, I grew up in the hood, man, and when, you know, that movie came out, everybody selling dope. You know, when Master P came out, everybody wanted to sell some ghetto dope and get a no limit chain. You know, it really do have an influence on it. So you do got to be careful what you allow your children to consume, man, because you might be one of the most, you know, righteous parents, but if your kid's seeing and enjoying one thing, man, I mean, another thing, you may definitely have some problems on your hands.
Facts.
But
Facts.
hey, that's all I had, brother.
That's all I need, Keith. Hey, don't be a stranger, brother.
Call, man.
Oh, for sure. Thanks for making the call. I appreciate it. Man. I love the internet. 513-873-7134. Somebody was calling me from a 50 number. Unfortunately, again, I'm a one-man operation at this point, so I can only put one person on at a time. And just call me back and I'll put you straight on. I got a break coming up at the top of the hour at 10 a.m., but I'm with you at least until 10:30 a.m. this morning because we got started a little bit late. So appreciate you. All strong comments. Again, your opinion is the currency of this show. Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion have a new song out. It's titled W.A.P. Wet Ass Ussy, right? Have you seen the video? It's very sexually suggestive. Very sexually suggestive. Matter of fact, this is a clip from the video. Where they do that at? You ever been to the club and seen somebody bust a move like that? Humping the floor? So it's about sex. It's about smashing dudes. It's about their sexual virility. Okay? Black men, male rap artists have been rapping about their sexual virility since the beginning of rap. Nobody criticizes them anymore. It is what it is. We just take it for what it is. When female artists do it, is it any different? Should we expect anything different? We know sex sells in this society. Sex sells everything. It's going to be that way until the apocalypse. Sex sells. Everybody's into sex. Everybody wants to have sex. I'm speaking very generally because there's some folks out there that's into other things, but generally speaking, sex sells because it's something that everyone eventually is going to do. And that a lot of people get preoccupied with. You know, as a younger dude, most of my motivations, every decision I made was because of sex. Trying to get it. The way I dress, I got a job. Why'd I get a job? So I could get gear. Why'd I want to get gear? So I could look good for the ladies. I went to college for the ladies and ended up getting a college degree. I'll say it again. I went to college. My main motivation as I was signing papers to go to UC was girls from all over the world. I'm like, wait a minute. Women from all over the world will be here? I want to be there. And ended up getting a college degree and a wife. I went to wifey in college. I mean, that's the truth. Yeah. I want to be something in life. I want to get a degree. Yeah. But I went for the girls. TUC. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so a lot of it is motivated by sex. I get it. So the music only accentuates that. You know, I remember the music I listened to when I was younger, you know, teens or 20s, right? A lot of it was from a male standpoint talking about women, how to get them and what to do with them once you got them. So should it be any different when a woman, a female artist is rapping about her viewpoint in terms of sex? Or is it being hypocritical? You tell me. 513-873-7134. I don't have anybody on the line right now. That gives me an opportunity to slip into another break. Okay. Please support our sponsors. And again, when you see political promotions, those are not endorsements. You have to make your own decision. But please support our sponsors. There's a link to our sponsor this morning in today's description. Please visit their website and check out what they have to offer. If you're into medical coding or you think someone may be into it, please follow the link and do your due diligence. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. I'm live. I'm local. And I'm vocal. And we'll be right back.
Black Business Report. I'm Donna Wilson. With the Bloomberg Black Business Report, I'm Donna Wilson. U.S. stocks closed mostly higher. The Dow rose 358 points, S&P up 9, but the Nasdaq fell 43. Chip makers led declines on rising tensions with China, and sports betting companies tumbled today, hurt by the likelihood that more big college football conferences will cancel their season due to COVID-19. Well, the National Urban League has nailed down $242 million for a major building project in Harlem. The new building will include the National Urban League's headquarters, an urban civil rights museum, and the National Urban League's Institute for Race Equity and Justice. The funds will also be used to build affordable housing. And anyone familiar with the racial and gender pay gaps knows that a typical black woman will make 62 cents for every dollar a white man earns. And that's your Bloomberg Black Business Report. I'm Donna Wilson. Bloomberg Black Business Report. I'm Donna Wilson. RLJ Launching Trust and Park Hotels and Resorts saw huge revenue declines in the second quarter, but the head of the Real Estate Investment Trust thinks it can ride out the storm. RLJ Lodging suspended operations at 57 of its hotels as a result of COVID-19. Robert L. Johnson, the founder of BET, is the founder and chairman of the RLJ Companies, a business network that owns or holds interest in businesses operating in hotel real estate, private equity, 401k fintech services, automotive dealerships, content streaming, gaming, and sports betting. And black employees say Veterans Affairs has a serious racism problem. According to The Root, a survey of 1,500 employees revealed that nearly 80% of them believe that racism is a serious and widespread problem within the government agency. That's your Bloomberg Black Business Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start? And scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified, marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder.
You're listening to The Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now, let's get back to the flow.
The Nathan Ivey Show is supported by listeners. Go to www.patreon.com/Nathan Ivey Show and help Nathan keep the show independent.
This is Zoe Wesson. What side of history do you want to be on? The right side, or one where black people continue to be underrepresented in Hamilton County? Now's your chance to end 230 years of exclusion. In Charlie Winburn, we have a man that's received the Cincinnati NAACP President's Award, who fought on the Ohio Civil Rights Commission for 6 years, who received the Baptist Ministers Conference Community Service Award. Charlie Winburn has received the Southern Christian Leadership Conference Award and was honored by WDBZ The Buzz as Pastor of the Month. We know Charlie Winburn, and he knows us. He's the right man to put us on the right side of history. On Tuesday, November 3rd, vote for Charlie Winburn for Hamilton County Treasurer.
I am Charlie Winburn, and I'm asking you for your vote on Tuesday, November the 3rd, paid for by friends of Charlie Winburn.
You're listening to The Nathan Ivey Show. One man, one microphone, one mission. Now let's get back to the flow.
Hey, good morning, family. Kelly writes, learn your history about the white supremacist society and how they treat black women. No other culture sells music to disrespect ourselves. Is that disrespect though, Kelly? Is that disrespect or is that empowerment? I mean, would you want your daughter to grow up and be Kim Kardashian? Would you want your daughter to grow up and be Cardi B? To be Meg Thee Stallion? Now, I know that particular image right there is going to elicit a lot of responses of people saying, hell no. But I mean, if the road toward financial freedom and empowerment is paved with making sexually explicit videos, or selling your sexuality. Is that a small price to pay? I mean, we all grown folks, right? So we all know at the end of the day, if it make money, it makes sense. It's all about the money in some cases, right? You want to retire one day, it's going to cost you money. So if the road for your daughter to live that life, to be financially free is paved with her making a rap video such as this, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with that? Empowerment or enslavement? That's been our conversation piece this morning. The phone lines are open again at 513-873-7134. Feel free to share your thoughts this morning. I'd love to hear them. Again, your thoughts are the currency of this show. Cincinnati has a daily digital show that focuses on Black folks. You don't just have to listen to whatever and love whatever, but we're here every single morning talking about the issues that in particular impact our community from the greater Cincinnati area from this perspective. It's the Nathan Ivey Show. Please like and share today's show. But back to your comments. See, Nicole writes, my problem with this is that not many grown people watch videos. Kids do. And it looks like it was made for kids. Like it was made for kids to like it. It's nasty AF. Kendall writes, and she's on YouTube, writes, she hit it on the target. Let me say this again. I need your help, family. I need to hit a milestone on YouTube. That first, so I can monetize my YouTube channel. You can find me at Nathan Ivey. If you're on YouTube, you may enjoy the channel. I'll be posting a live stream, and I have some other ideas as well I'll be putting in play in the next few weeks, days and weeks. And I need to hit that first milestone so I can monetize my channel. And that's 1,000 subscribers. We've already hit the milestone for the last 12 months in terms of total watch time. But I need at least 1,000 subscribers to unlock the tools that are available to YouTube channels that reach that milestones. If you don't know, that's the way YouTube works. I mean, they have a lot of tools that are available to the people that have particular channels, but you have to unlock them by proving to YouTube that you have an audience. So if you can, please go over to YouTube today, this morning, and subscribe to my channel. I need to hit at least 1,000. I think I'm at like 200. I've been on YouTube for a while putting up the audio. It's just in this week really that I'm really pushing people to go to my YouTube channel as I expand the reach of this particular show. I really appreciate it. So when you do, please hit the subscription bell so you can enable all of the notifications so that whenever I go live or I post a video, you'll get notified. All right. And I plan to do so as well. Thank you in advance. I appreciate it. Jesse's in the house. He writes, sex and violence always sells. Yes, it does, Jesse. It will always be that way. Daryl writes, hey, Nate, what's up, Daryl? DJ Pillow writes, yo, happy birthday to hip hop. Absolutely. What's up, DJ Pillow? He writes, good morning, Nate. Good morning to you, DJ Pillow. Good to see you. Queen Latifah has a broad palette of talent. Yeah, we know now, but back in the day, she was a hip hop artist. And she took a different route. She took the whole, conscious sister, who you calling a B, don't touch my booty. He was nasty. She took that whole route. So she still got bangers from back in the day. But why was she able to do that? Well, it's like anything else. That's the lane that she carved out for herself. She was committed to it and she did it. She knew who she wanted to be. She knew what she wanted to project, and that's what she did. She did it. It's just that simple. And that's possible for anything else. Comedian Arnold, what's up? He writes, what's up, Nate? Jabran Arnold, what's up? I love to work with, if you're a comic, if you're an entertainer, if you're a creative person, I would love to work with you in terms of producing podcasts and live streams for Sin Digital Media. To me, one of the most powerful things that can happen right now is creating your own media. I respect content creators. I work with content creators, and I want to expand what we're doing here with Sin Digital Media. I can see the future. Hit me up with a DM. Maybe we can work together. I'd love to. McCall writes, age don't make us grown. That's true. Unfortunately. There's nothing sadder than a grown person acting like a child. I don't really have any tolerance for it. I can't even be around those kind of grown people. You 50 acting like you 20. I can't be around it. I can't be around. I don't rock with people like that. All the folks I rock with are grown people. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. Nothing there are things that irritate me more, like the abuse of children, the abuse of the elderly, the abuse of people who can't defend themselves. That's number one on my list in terms of what gets me going. Second is grown black men in particular acting like children. I hate it. Burns me up. Ron P. writes, Little Kim and Foxy Brown was rapping like that back in the 90s. Nobody said anything. It's the visual of the video that caught people's attention. Ron, listen, I disagree with you, brother. The people did talk about it. There were critiques of it. I remember. I was a part of those conversations. I remember there was critiques about it, like, why you got to go this route? Why can't you be more like Queen Latifah? But here it is, 2020. And I would like for you to name for me as many female artists who went big, who didn't rap about their sexuality, who didn't rap about how good the Ussy is, who didn't rap about, being promiscuous, who didn't rap about that, but yet were able to make it quote unquote big. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm struggling with that list. I see Queen Latifah. And after that, I need help, family. I'm struggling with that. And it seems like a condition for success in the rap game still is, for females, is you got to sell your sexuality. You got to talk about your sexuality. You got to be overtly sexual. You got to dress sexual. Look at Nicki Minaj. Her last name is Minaj, as in Menage a Trois. It was some scenes in that video that, quite frankly, wasn't too sexy for me. Like, there was a scene with Cardi B when she had, like, the cups on her areola. I was like, no. The outfit ain't working for me personally. But again, I'm a grown man, so my tastes have changed maybe a bit. I'm sure they have. I like some of the same stuff I did then. But I'm just saying, I have a more mature sexual palate now. It's just something about that visual that didn't really jive with me. I was like, I know you have some other choices from your wardrobe choices because you have chosen that. I don't know. But again, should women have a space where they can be overtly sexual? Absolutely. And if this is what it looks like, it is what it is. It is what it is. Dale writes, that's funny. White people nervous. We buying ammo. That's because some white people are afraid of a black planet. Some white people are afraid that if we got power, we would do to them what they did to us, even though many of them denied doing anything to us. That's the truth about it. And like JFK said, the only thing you got to fear is fear itself. Black folks don't want that hard. That's not why black folks in general are arming up. In general, black people are arming up as a means of self-defense. Most black folks don't want no smoke whatsoever. They just want to live their lives and live the African-American dream. They want to live their best life. And to do that, if they got to protect themselves by arming themselves, doing tactical training, then that's what they're going to do. But, white folks that don't really have a connection to real, authentic black people that'll tell them what time it is, you know what I'm saying? Even when it's uncomfortable, it's like anything else. When you don't have an answer, you fill in the blanks. And usually it's your fear and your paranoia that fills in the blanks. White folks, I think, are the same. Richie writes, original WAP. You talking about Lil' Kim? Where's that remember that Lil' Kim poster? I had the Lil' Kim poster on my wall. Remember what I'm talking about? Lil' Kim was on my wall for a little bit. I bought the album, and when I bought the album, it came with the poster. Or somehow I got the poster. I was at some record store, and I bought an album, and they gave me this poster. And this poster was tight. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't upset. I'm like, you want to put this poster out there, Lil' Kim? Let me put it up on the screen for you. You can see it for yourself. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Remember I'm talking about it was as nasty as you want to be? Lil' Kim was really nasty back in the day. But is that nasty, or is that just a woman rapping about her sexuality? Let me see if I can put this on the screen for you real quick. Remember this? Yeah. Yep. Now, how is that any different from this? What's the difference? From this to this, this is amazing how much hasn't changed. But see, a lot don't change in the music industry because we don't own it. Or would that make a difference? Let's say the music industry was there was a higher percentage of black females that own record companies, like the major companies, right? Because you got black females that work in these companies as top executives. At the end of the day, they are governed by the bottom line. What you selling? And if I got to keep my spot by selling this, well, then damn it, I'm going to keep my spot by selling this. That's what it is. The other thing I'll say is that people, I think, can be overly critical of hip hop and it's racist. And we don't let hip hop artists live and breathe the way we let other artists do. If you don't like this, then don't watch it. If you don't like this, then don't watch it. It's just like reality television. I don't want to talk about Breonna Taylor. I want to watch that reality. Well, then don't watch it. That's why you got multiple options, multiple channels. You can watch a whole lot. But again, I mean, can somebody give me any rap aficionados out there, rap historians? I mean, I love a quick top 5 list of black female artists that made it big in the rap game, but they didn't rap about selling their sexuality. Is that even a thing? Dale writes, Nate, stop being so mean with that elderly lady shaking my head. I don't know what you're talking about. That elderly lady. Cardi B and Meg do not make stuff for kids. Parents have to monitor what their kids watch and hear. You can't be surprised if your kids out here twerking and watching Meg and Cardi on the regular. You can't get away from twerking. Twerking is on Twitter. Twerking is on Facebook, twerking is on Instagram, and twerking is on TikTok. Who, by the way, I've been reading that Trump's being put in pressure on TikTok because they're a non-American based company. And now I'm reading that it's not Google, it's okay, let me look this up because now I brought it up. I hate to wade into a topic and not have everything top of mind. Hold on. Yo, so if you're on TikTok, it's a good change that TikTok is going to be sold. Is it Microsoft? Yeah, I think it's Microsoft. And what's interesting, nah, it's not Microsoft. There's another company right now that is in the conversation to purchase TikTok. It's not Google. I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and he was like, yeah, I think Google's going to buy TikTok. And I agree, it's going to be an American company. Because the president is saying that TikTok, which is a company that's based in China, is a security threat. Now, he hasn't really talked about how it's a security threat or whatever, but that's what he says. No details. TikTok has a lawsuit against the Trump administration over his executive order. You know what's so interesting is Trump talked all that ish about Obama using executive orders and not being willing to govern and negotiate. And now he becomes president, and the vast majority of things that he does, he tries to do by executive order. Is there a bigger hypocrite in America than Donald Trump? I don't think so. Hold on, let me look at this up. Now I got to answer this question for myself about this. I was just listening to it on the radio yesterday, and I want to make sure. Oh, it's Twitter. So Twitter is rumored to be purchasing TikTok. What's interesting is that TikTok is worth more. It's estimated to be a higher value in its worth than Twitter, which is strange. Because typically when you hear about these big buyouts, it's a smaller company being bought out by a more profitable or projected more profitable company. That's strange. It's very strange, but the pressure is on now from the Trump administration. Now, you know, if Obama did the same thing, these Republicans would be ready to impeach his ass. I mean, there are a long list of things that Trump does and is doing and has done that if Obama tried to do it, just even tried to do it, they would have tried to, and by they, I mean the Republicans would have tried to impeach his ass, including this. But Twitter is rumored to be interested in purchasing TikTok. How many people are on TikTok? It's big right now. They're saying you should get on TikTok. That's the next big thing, or the current big thing, or the flavor of the moment. A little bit of sidebar there. Let's get back to it. Woody writes, I'm 71. I like WAP. That's good to know. I hope that when I'm 71, I like WAP as well. Nate writes, the labels promote white artists like Taylor Swift and black artists like Meg. Well, if there was the labels are in it for the money. If a black artist came along that was singing the same type of music as Taylor Swift, but was able to do Taylor Swift numbers, they rock with her. They rock with her. Jasmine writes, it's always okay when men do it, but when women do it for themselves, it's a scandal. There's some facts there. I can't deny it. DJ Pillar writes, the male artist in this case has better songs than Cardi and MTS, Meg Thee Stallion, which I love that name, Meg Thee Stallion. Apparently that the term stallion is a Southern slang word for, women who are taller or something like that, I believe. Kino writes, it's empowerment the way I see it. We making money and it's nothing new under the sun. So keep on making your money. Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, one love. Okay. Rachel writes, it's an old conversation with rap music. Our parents thought our music was explicit and crap. She writes, turn the channel if you don't want to watch it or hear it. Dale writes, oh, Nate. Okay, Nate, I got you on YouTube. Yeah, thank you very much. Again, I'll say it for people who might just be tuning in or just to remind you, I need to hit a milestone. Help me hit a milestone on YouTube. The first milestone that every YouTube channel wants to hit is the 1,000 subscriber milestone. So you can monetize your channel. It just means they can put ads on your channel. The next milestone is 10,000 subscribers. We'll talk about that once we reach the first milestone. But if you're on YouTube and you enjoy YouTube type entertainment, I'm on YouTube. The show's on YouTube and the next shows that I'll be producing will be on YouTube as well. So please hit your brother with a subscription. I appreciate it in advance. And please please enable, that's Facebook lingo, please enable the bell notification on YouTube so you can get notified whenever there's a live stream and/or I upload a video as well. So I thank you in advance. I appreciate that. Right now, or before the show, I was at like 221, something like that. So I'm a little less than 800 subscribers away from my first milestone, and I appreciate you. Let's go straight to the phones and say good morning and welcome.
Nathan, it's Tracy. How are you?
I'm doing great, Tracy. Morning.
I wanted to give you that list. I put it on Spreaker, but I don't know if you saw it, but I put a few out there. I said Queen Latifah, MC Light, Lady of Rage, Moni Love, and Lauryn Hill.
Mm-hmm. That's a good list. Queen Latifah, yup. What was the second one again?
MC Light.
MC Light, yup.
Lady of Rage.
Lady of Rage, yep.
Moni Love.
Moni Love, yeah. Yeah.
And Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's 5 for 5.
And,
yeah.
Oh, and I put Left Eye. I put Left Eye on there too.
So we're going to put TLC in there?
No, I put Left Eye in there.
Did she do her own album?
I think she had one.
Okay. I don't remember that. But I think that's a good list.
Before she died.
Yeah, I think that's a good list. I think it's a good list.
So that's my list.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, Tracy got a list. I agree with her. Moni Love. Yep. Moni in the middle. Remember that? Now, the only thing I would say is big, right? Like to make it big. Because there's been rap artists here or there that I could name that had one hit. They hit the radar screen. They were a blip on the radar screen. They left. They didn't really come back. I don't know if I would say that Moni Love made it big, but she did her thing. That was a different era in terms of rap, where it was all about your skills. MC Light was dope because she used to rap a lot about her skills, which was what the male rap artist was doing back in the day. Mm-hmm. I'm down with that. Lady of Rage. I rock rough and tough in my Afro puffs. She was the first lady of Death Row Records. Did she make it big? I wouldn't say she made it big, but I will say I would say big enough to be on the list. But again, if you think about it, all of the most successful female artists all rapped about selling that sex. So again, I say, you can share your thoughts or not. I won't challenge you or shout you down, but your daughter says she wants to be a hip hop artist. How would you feel if she wanted to go the Megan Thee Stallion route, the Little Kim route? The Kim Kardashian route? Kim Kardashian got big because she did an X-rated porno with Ray J. And her mother was smart enough to use it and capitalize it. Kim Kardashian was a modern day sex symbol. She ain't had no talents, but people thought she was, incredibly attractive. She ain't got no talent. Her talent was just looking good in the minds of some people. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think? 513. Is that empowerment? If it leads to the bag, if Meg and Cardi B get the bag, what's the problem? What's the problem, right? If it leads to the bag, and once they get the bag, they are now economically empowered. And now they can use that economic empowerment for their families, for themselves, and maybe to promote it to other people. But the road toward economic empowerment or to economic empowerment is paved with, songs like this and images like this. What's the problem? Everybody loves Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry Studios, he's a boss. But the road to Tyler Perry Studios and the road to Tyler Perry becoming a boss was Madea. Tyler Perry wouldn't be a boss right now. He wouldn't have Tyler Perry Studios if there was no Madea. There's a lot of people I know that look at Madea like, oh, that's nonsense. Oh, okay, they're trying to feminize men. Here we go again, a man in a dress. That ain't funny. But it was profitable. So you tell me, should you take the road that's conscious, that's polite, that's less sexual, that's more about empowerment, but you ain't gonna get no views. People not gonna pay attention to it. You're not gonna be economically empowered. But you take the road, the little Kim Kardashian road, and Kim Kardashian's worth what, 200-300 mil? I bring up Kim Kardashian because she's a part of this conversation, and her little sister's in that video. The WAP video, she's in the video. Whole family making money. The whole thing started with Kim Kardashian doing a sex tape with Ray J. They got way more money than Ray J, even though Ray J seems to be doing good with his Raycon earbuds. They got way more money than Ray J. So, what's really empowerment? What's the the right route to take? Like I said, everybody criticized Tyler Perry, but at the same time, we get him props for building his media empire. He made the media empire by selling Madea. That's how he made it. He would not be where he is today if not for Madea. And people look at Tyler Perry and think, oh, he's sold out. Sitting up there, a man in a dress. They always do that to brothers. Every time a brother try to make it, they want to put him in a dress. Okay. Maybe that's true. It is true. But there's a cause or an effect relationship between what he was able to do in selling Madea. Hold on one second here. And where he is today. It's just something to think about. I throw this out there, food for thought. I'm your local agent provocateur. I just want you to think about it. Look at this right here. This right here is the number one cash cow for Tyler Perry. And going back a few years ago, everybody watched in awe as Black Hollywood royalty showed up and showed out for Tyler Perry Studios. Tyler Perry Studios, right? Only black, the first and the biggest, and what seems to be a very successful, right? Media endeavor that was black owned. Everybody reveled in it. It's the greatest thing ever. Oh man, we finally got our own, right? He got that selling what you see right now. You know what I'm saying? So, it's something to think about, like I said. It's something to think about. I'll leave you with that, family. I see it's 10:30 and I got to make a move. But Tyler Perry went from that to this. He went from that to this. If there was no this, there'd be no that. It's just how it works. It's just the way the world works. It's quite interesting, isn't it? I don't know, man. We got to think about it. Would you want your daughter to grow up and be Kim K? Would you want your daughter to grow up and be like Cardi B? Would you want your daughter to grow up and be like Meg Thee Stallion? Is that a bad thing if it leads to the bag? Is the bag everything? I mean, I could go on for days and days, but I will not. I'll leave you with that. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. I'll be back with you and hopefully better than ever tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., hopefully with no hiccups, technically wise. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Please like and share today's show. And again, I ask, help me reach this milestone on YouTube so I can monetize my channel. It's the first milestone I'm looking for. I need 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate you in advance. When you subscribe, please enable the bell notification so you can get notification for all live streams and uploaded videos. This is just the beginning. Viva La Chapas. I really appreciate you. Shout to Team NI. Shout out to my patrons. And thank you for being here. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. And I'll leave you with our motto. Winners focus on winning. Losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning. And we'll talk real soon. I'm out.
Thank you.